Define size attributes for all images, heights and widths, right? For videos. That prevents any unexpected layout shift, because sometimes the image may not load till later. You don't want it to kind of pop open and then you have everything pushed down. You want to have that image kind of ready, so have that the height and width ready to go, so when the image loads, it's in that exact spot it needs to be at the right size. Technical SEO is our next one. We got two topics here. One is an old one, core web vitals and page experience, okay? Core web vitals are key metrics that measure the quality of the user experience on a website. There's that word again, experience, right? They focus on three critical areas: loading speed, which is called largest contentful pane or LCP, interactivity, which is called interacts to next pane or INP, and visual stability, which is called cumulative layout shift. Load speed, pretty easy, right? How quick does something load up, right? The largest thing on the page, a video or big piece of content, should load within the first 2.5 seconds of the page. Otherwise, your site is basically considered too slow. Interactivity is responsiveness, okay? How quickly can you interact with somebody's site? And it should be less than 200 milliseconds, so very quick. And then cumulative layout shift is the ability to keep things stable. You've ever been on a web page where you go to click on something and like an ad loads up and shifts everything down? That's called layout shift. And they don't want much layout shift at all. They don't want people to have to move around, okay? We'll talk more about the best practices for this in a minute. And also, page experience expands on this by encompassing things like mobile friendliness, HTTPS security, intrusive ads. So by optimizing all these elements, it ensures that users have a smooth, engaging experience, which the search engines are increasingly rewarding. Why is it important? Well, it's a direct ranking signal. I mean, it's a direct ranking signal. Google continues to use core web vitals as a critical ranking factor. Websites that meet or exceed those metrics, and I have a link to the metrics there as well, perform better in search results. And enhanced user experience directly correlates with higher engagement and conversion. So you got to use them. It improves user retention and conversion. A fast-loading, visually stable website doesn't move around, reduces bounce rate. People don't get frustrated. They don't leave. They stick around. Users are more likely to stay and explore if they have a nice, smooth interaction. And satisfied users often convert into repeat visitors or eventually customers. What's your best practice? Well, you got to optimize your loading speed. Use tools like GTmetrix, Google PageSpeed Insights to help identify any bottlenecks or places where things might not be loading quickly or causing problems. Compress images and videos to reduce file sizes without compromising quality. Implement a content delivery network, a CDN, to improve server response times globally so that people can pull down images and so on from the server that's closest to them. You want to improve your interactivity at first input delay by minimize JavaScript execution times, so it ensures that it's faster to respond. Prioritize critical resources that affect loading and defer any non-essential scripts to load later, so you have the most important stuff loading so people can interact right away. Regularly test your forms, your buttons, any kind of interactive elements. Make sure they're working, make sure they're responsive, make sure they're not standing off the page. And to ensure that visual stability, that cumulative layout shift, define size attributes for all images, heights and widths, right? For videos. That prevents any unexpected layout shift, because sometimes the image may not load till later. You don't want it to kind of pop open and then you have everything pushed down. You want to have that image kind of ready, so have that the height and width ready to go, so when the image loads, it's in that exact spot it needs to be at the right size. Avoid dynamically injecting ads or pop-ups that disrupt content flow. That's a big no-no. And use stable fonts, and avoid swapping font styles mid-render. That can also be kind of a pain. You ever see like a page load and the font changes after that? Again, it's a kind of a weird thing. Google's not loving it. Conclusion, by focusing on the core vitals and overall page experience, you're going to enhance your user satisfaction, improve overall rankings, and create a website that meets the expectations of today's users and search engines.